My roommate used my photos to online date and seduce married men. The wife of one of those men came to my school, humiliating me in front of everyone. I was cyberbullied and targeted by thugs. They tried to harm me, and while fleeing, I accidentally fell into a river and drowned. My roommate spread baseless rumors to the media, claiming I took my own life because I had contracted a certain illness. She didn't know that the dead truly can become ghosts. Today was my burial day. The main hall of the funeral home was eerily empty and silent, save for the occasional choked sob. It was probably the quietest funeral our village had ever seen. No mourners came, no relatives offered help. There wasn't even anyone to carry the coffin. A fine drizzle drifted through the air. My mother, dressed in a white straw cloak, had a face so drenched it was impossible to tell if it was from rain or tears. She clutched my portrait to her chest, her eyes distant and hollow, as if her soul had already departed. My brother holding my urn behind her, his back hunched into an arc. It seemed as though he had aged 10 years overnight. Occasionally, villagers would step out, but seeing them, they'd scurry back indoors like mice spotting a cat. My uncle stood in the yard, gritting his teeth, about to step forward, but my aunt pulled him back. "Are you crazy? What are you going there for? Haven't we been humiliated enough? Jiangsu died because she contracted that illness. Haven't you seen how everyone online is slandering her? Our son has been mocked by his friends every day he comes home from school. Have you forgotten already?" My uncle covered his face in agony. "I know, but she's still my niece. Your brother, when he passed, asked me to look after them." My aunt angrily pinched him. "Are you their only relative? Not a single person from my sister-in-law's family came. And everyone in this village, from the 3rd generation upwards, shares the same ancestors. Who here is even close to them? Why should you be the only one to help them when no one else does?" Slam, the main door was shut violently. My mother only glanced idly before looking away. Clutching my portrait, she and my brother bravely plunged into the piercing wind and drizzle. I followed them to the cemetery, but my body felt as light as a drifting cloud. The slightest gust of wind carried me away, straight to Ethan Chu's house at the edge of the village. He was a thug in our village, and also my roommate's older brother. It was common knowledge that his favorite pastimes were petty theft and generally being despised by everyone. Inside his house, a group of people were smoking and gambling, filling the room with the acrid smell of cigarette smoke. "Hey, isn't today Jiangsu's funeral? That useless university student who looked down on us common folk, now she's gone, looking up at the sky with those innocent eyes. Ha, she was nothing but a slut for men to ride. Damn it, don't talk like that. She had a great figure, those breasts." They made my mouth water. Their faces were contorted with lewd smiles. Ethan Chu took out his phone, opened a video he had saved, and paused it precisely at the moment I was being humiliated. My entire body began to tremble, as if I was being dragged back to that day of overwhelming fear and shame. That day was a weekend. I went out to get food for my still sleeping roommates. The moment I stepped out of the dorm, a woman stopped me. "Jiangsu, are you Jiangsu?" A middle-aged woman, over 30, blocked my path. Her eyes were furious and sharp. She was tall, dark-skinned, and behind her stood 2 burly men. I nodded my head. Before I could even ask, "Who are you, sister?" she grabbed my hair. "I'll beat you to death, you shameless hussy." I didn't even have time to react before 2 stinging slaps landed on my face, painful enough to make me dizzy. "You're the homewrecker who seduced my husband. The money he bought that gold necklace for you with, that was my son's tuition, you black-hearted bitch. I'll strip you naked, let everyone see the vile thing you truly are." I was beaten until I was half unconscious. A few students nearby wanted to help, but upon hearing those words, they all took a step back. One of the men was holding a thick stack of papers and immediately handed them out for students in the school to see. "These are all proofs that this university student seduces married men, sending her pictures to him every day, an indescribable hussy." I was beaten until I saw stars. I struggled and desperately tried to explain. "I don't know you. I didn't seduce your husband. Let me go. I'll call the police." After hearing me, the woman grew even angrier. "Oh, still acting? I'll rip that mask right off you." She was tall and plump, much stronger than me. I couldn't escape her grasp, and another man helped her. He held my arms tightly while she directly reached out and tore my clothes. I was always sensitive to heat, so that day I had only worn a thin, long dress. When she pulled it, the dress instantly split into two pieces. Most of the people around pulled out their phones to record. Ashamed and enraged, my voice grew hoarse. "Let me go. This is illegal. I truly didn't seduce your husband." The woman, still in a fit of rage, heard my words and directly reached out to pull at my underwear. "What's illegal about beating a homewrecker? You asterisk seducing my husband, that's asterisk illegal." By the time the school security arrived, my clothes had been completely stripped off, and my face was swollen from the beating. At the police station, the woman's attitude remained arrogant. The police presented a mobile phone in front of me, their eyes complex. "Is this you?" The profile picture and WeChat moments were identical to my account. Even the WeChat ID only differed by a single dot. The chat history inside was truly appalling. The girl in the conversation was bold and enthusiastic. Every time she sent the man a picture of me, she would demand a gift. All those photos were mine. Some I had taken myself and posted on my personal page. Others were of my daily life in the dorm. The delivery addresses for the items stored were all under my name and dorm address, only the phone number wasn't mine. The police said that virtual accounts could be easily bought online, so they asked for identity verification. I desperately tried to explain, but the woman vehemently refused to believe me. She was convinced I was the homewrecker. That WeChat account was my secondary account. For assaulting and insulting me in public, she was arrested. The police said she would likely be charged with intentional public insult. The woman's family was furious, posting the entire chat content online. The video of me being stripped naked quickly went viral. Netizens were outraged, believing the homewrecker only got stripped, while the victim, the wife, was arrested. The situation became increasingly troublesome. My information and recordings flooded every forum. Every day, countless calls came in, cursing me. They sent me wreaths, dead rats. Cursing me by phone wasn't enough. They even sought out my home address. My father passed away when I was young. My mother opened a small breakfast stall, raising my brother and me. Because of the netizens' harassment, the breakfast stall was forced to close. My brother's girlfriend also broke up with him over this incident. No matter how dire my circumstances, I never once thought of death. I always tried to find every way to prove my innocence. On my way home, I was targeted by some thugs. They had watched the videos and seen the photos, concluding I was a loose woman. The leader blocked my path, his eyes lecherous and vulgar. "Why bother pretending to be a pure student, little sister? Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Want a gold necklace? I can buy it for you, as long as you play along nicely for a while." I ran for my life, only to accidentally fall into the river. The thugs were scared off, but my life ended forever at the age of 18. My death made the incident go viral once more. My roommate, Kira Chu, wearing a mask, confidently answered reporters' questions. She claimed I had wanted to end my life for a long time. The reason wasn't cyberbullying, but because I had contracted a certain illness. The hatred in my heart spread like wildfire. Ethan Chu suddenly sat up in surprise. "Strange, where is this wind coming from?" The curtains billowed, the central lamp swayed, and scattered magazines on the table began to flip their pages by themselves. Someone went to pull the curtains, their face quickly turning tense. "Ethan, the windows are closed." Ethan Chu swallowed hard, his widening eyes darting around the room. "Damn it, stop fooling around. I have to go to Jiangsu University today to see my sister. I'm not staying here." Jiangsu University? After my death, I constantly wished to return to school, but I couldn't leave this village. I wanted to ask Kira Chu why she said I had that illness. We were from the same village. Though not close, we certainly weren't enemies. Why would she spread such rumors about me? My days as a ghost were far from what I imagined. I wasn't as powerful as the evil spirits in movies. I couldn't even touch someone's clothes, let alone find my killer and exact revenge. Besides me, there were 3 other people in the dorm. Even in death, I didn't know who the culprit was who secretly took my photos. Ethan Chu finished packing, grabbed a black umbrella, and headed out. I followed him, eventually discovering I could hide within an umbrella. So I went with Ethan Chu into the car, smoothly reaching the school. Today there were no classes, so everyone was in the dorm. Some watched movies, others read books. My death seemed to have no effect on them. "Kira Chu, have you seen Ethan Shen's personal page?" Nara Zhang lay on her bed, scrolling on her phone, half her head lifted over the edge, her round face showing she was enjoying some juicy gossip. I was standing behind Kira Chu at this moment. She suspiciously opened her phone. Ethan Shen had just posted a black and white chrysanthemum photo with the caption, "Rest in peace. May heaven be free of baseless rumors." My heart jolted. Kira Chu's face darkened, and she slammed her phone onto the table. Is Ethan Shen blind? Everyone in school knows Jiangzu was a homewrecker, and he's still putting on a show, unwavering amidst life's changes, or whatever. Nara Zhang nodded. Jiangzu was truly something else. Even after death, the campus heartthrob is still helping her. Do you think he and Ethan Shen are actually dating? Kira Chu sat up furiously, her small eyes widening. Don't be ridiculous. Ethan Shen can't be dating a vixen like her. He's just been fooled by Jiangzu. Everyone in the dorm knew Kira Chu liked Ethan Shen. Although Ethan Shen and I were in the same class, we didn't talk much on a regular basis. I never imagined that after my death, apart from my family, he would be the only one to believe me. Kira Chu's anger made Nara Zhang's eyes crinkle with amusement. Maybe Ethan Shen really did like Jiangzu, like in those novels, the moonlight, the first love kind of thing. No one in the world believes me, only you believe me, so touching. The atmosphere in our dorm was always strange. Clearly, there were only 4 of us, yet there were several WeChat groups. Everyone in this world has their petty squabbles, friends today, enemies tomorrow. Nara Zhang and Kira Chu had been so close for a long time they were like sisters, but in recent days, they seemed to have had an argument, their conversations always adding fuel to the fire. Bella Wang, who was reading, let out a HMPH and snapped her book shut. Always talking about the dead like that, don't you think it's bad luck? I gloomily gazed at her beautiful, smooth, fair face, and a feeling of utter hatred surged within me. In the dorm, Bella Wang and I had the best relationship. That day, I left the dorm simply because she had menstrual cramps, so I went downstairs to get food for her. After my death, she finally shed her hypocritical mask, revealing her true face. Bella Wang rubbed her arm, frowning as she looked towards the balcony. Strange, why did it suddenly get so cold? This time, in the Chu family's house, I discovered that anger and hatred could amplify my power. It seemed everyone in the dorm was afraid to mention my name. Nara Zhang silently continued watching her movie. Kira Chu kept scrolling through her phone, line by line. The dorm wasn't large. Near the entrance was a row of lockers. Opposite the lockers was the bathroom. Inside, on both the left and right, were 2 bunk beds, with the bed on top and a desk and wardrobe below. I poked my head into the wardrobe, checking their belongings. The person who secretly took photos of me definitely had 2 phones. After what happened to me, I assumed she had hidden that phone. I had seen the chat history. The man had given her many gifts: gold necklaces, gold rings, gold earrings, all sorts of gold jewelry. I ransacked every drawer in the dorm but couldn't find any of those gold items. Nara Zhang was engrossed in her movie, occasionally giggling like a madwoman. Bella Wang was still focused on her book. She always studied very diligently. I could only watch Kira Chu, seeing her fiddling with her phone. She was sending a message to Ethan Shen. Ethan Shen, what's the meaning of your post? Are you talking about Jiangzu? She's actually a manipulative person, don't be fooled by her appearance. Did you know? She dated over a dozen boyfriends at once. The last message couldn't be sent, because Ethan Shen had blocked her. Kira Chu was furious, almost out of her mind. She had fallen in love with Ethan Shen at first sight. On the first day of school, she had declared in the dorm that she would pursue him. Ethan Shen had a cold, almost indifferent personality. He didn't accept any gifts from Kira Chu, not even glancing at her once. Kira Chu didn't give up. She believed men like Ethan Shen were naturally hard to pursue, but once won over, they would surely cherish their girlfriend, giving her anything she desired, even the stars from the sky. Because of this, Nara Zhang and Bella Wang had formed a group chat. Every day, those 2 would mock Kira Chu in that group, saying a toad wants to eat swan meat. Kira Chu wasn't particularly beautiful. She didn't have Bella Wang's snow-white skin, nor Nara Zhang's cute face. She had dark skin, small eyes, and a slightly flattened nose. Because of this, she was often mocked by her classmates when she was little. The boys in class often gave us nicknames, calling me Snow White Princess and her Toad Princess. Perhaps this was why Kira Chu hated me. That phone was very likely hers. Never mind, I'm a ghost now, not a police officer. I don't need to pass judgment. Anyway, all 3 of them are going to die. After my death, they all agreed to be interviewed by reporters. Kira Chu said I had contracted an illness. Nara Zhang said I liked dating several boyfriends at once. Bella Wang said I only liked making friends with boys in class. 3 people make a tiger, many mouths make rumors. And just like that, even in death, I was branded a loose woman. As a ghost, I didn't need to sleep. The lights in the dorm were off. I sat beside Kira Chu, watching her phone with her. Kira Chu was online, searching for posts cursing me. Occasionally, when she saw comments asking for the video, she would enthusiastically send friend requests and then forward the recordings she had saved. That day, many people gathered to watch the spectacle, and recordings from every angle existed. She patiently sent video after video, seemingly afraid people wouldn't clearly see my naked form. So beautiful, such a tempting figure, yet she was a homewrecker. Her classmates even claimed she had that illness. How terrifying. Her appearance must be plastic surgery. She probably augmented her chest for that asterisk kind of business. No way, I found her innocent. Could this be a misunderstanding? Occasionally, she would encounter someone like that. Kira Chu clenched her fist, wishing she could dive into the internet and curse them all. It turned out she hated me that much. In the horror movies I used to watch, ghosts would inflict 18 kinds of misfortunes upon a body, such as poverty, weakness, disaster, pain, bad luck, illness, and so on. I can't kill them now, but I can make them a little more unlucky, can't I? I exhaled my ghostly breath into her mouth. Kira Chu shivered, quickly felt sleepy, dropped her phone, and drifted into sleep. The dorm became quiet. I discovered that my power had increased significantly after leaving Ethan Chu's house. After expending all my strength, I could touch anything. I flew off the bed to Kira Chu's desk. Just then, Nara Zhang happened to get out of bed to go to the restroom. Crash, a glass of water fell to the floor, shattering with a deafening clatter. Kira Chu suddenly shot up from her bed. Seeing her cup broken, she furiously crawled off. Nara Zhang, what about my cup? Nara Zhang rolled her eyes. I didn't even touch your cup, it just fell. Don't be so dramatic. How could such a large cup fall by itself? The two, already at odds, now argued loudly. Cruel words, costing nothing, spilled out incessantly as if they wanted to fight to the death. Stop whining. If you make any more noise, I'll call the dorm supervisor. It's the middle of the night, can't people get some sleep? Bella Wang, with a cold expression, got off her bed and separated the two. The 3 of them said nothing, stewing in their anger, and climbed back into their beds. Watching them bicker like dogs was truly entertaining. When they were sound asleep, I flew into the bathroom and poured all of Bella Wang's and Nara Zhang's face wash, toothpaste, and shampoo down the toilet. Fight each other, the more fiercely, the better. My revenge has only just begun. Kira Chu, what's the meaning of this? Bella Wang's family wasn't well off, but she was very vain. The money for her skincare and makeup was all saved from her daily meals. Nara Zhang's face also darkened. She grabbed Kira Chu's arm. Pay up, my face wash alone cost over 100 yuan and I hadn't even used it once. Kira Chu was surprised, then turned angry. What are you talking about? What makes you think I did it? Bella Wang gnashed her teeth. Only your things weren't damaged, if not you, then who? These 3 were so boring. They argued so loudly they almost blew the roof off, but they wouldn't actually lay a hand on each other. I'll help them out. As Kira Chu was about to turn and leave, I gave her a strong push from behind. Who's there? Kira Chu shrieked, then fell to the ground, her knees and elbows scraped. Bella Wang clutched her stomach, clapping and cheering. Serves you right. Evil people always get their karma. When Jiangzu was in the dorm, you were jealous she was prettier than you, badmouthing her in the group chat every day. Now that she's gone, you're jealous of us, even though we're not as pretty and you're still playing games. So, behind my back, the 3 of them had even formed a private group chat. The 3 argued some more, but Kira Chu still didn't lay a hand on them. She just glared at them with hateful eyes, then hobbled off to class. My strength wasn't very powerful yet. To get my revenge, I had to find a way to make them fight each other to the death. All the suffering I endured, all the humiliation I bore, they had to experience it all for the hatred in my heart to be satisfied. Ethan Shen, Ethan Shen. The moment Kira Chu saw the figure in front of her, she suddenly looked up and ran straight after him. The young man was very tall. He wore a black and white tracksuit with broad shoulders and long legs, a perfect physique. He heard the call but didn't turn around. Kira Chu went directly and grabbed his sleeve. Ethan Shen recoiled a step in disgust, an impatient frown marring his refined brows. What is it? Kira Chu stared at his face, captivated. Just as Ethan Shen was about to leave, she bit her lip and asked, "Why did you block me yesterday?" Ethan Shen gave a cold laugh. "Because I hate the sound of barking dogs." Kira Chu was so furious she stomped her feet on the spot, almost bursting into tears. Because of the morning incident, Kira Chu and the two from Bella Wang's group had split into two factions, eating meals and going to class alone. When she saw them, she would just roll her eyes and walk away. I also encountered a bit of difficulty. Even though I was a ghost, I couldn't split myself into two bodies. They moved separately, so I could only keep an eye on one at a time. Kira Chu ran to an internet cafe to play games. I stood beside her, watching for a while. Seeing her engrossed in the game, I returned to the dorm. Bella Wang and Nara Zhang's relationship was never good to begin with, but now, with a common enemy, they grew even closer. I can't swallow this anger. We have to teach Kira Chu a lesson. Nara Zhang slammed her book onto the table, her chest heaving with rage. Bella Wang was even angrier than Nara Zhang. She kicked the ladder under Kira Chu's bed hard. That bitch! Crash! Kira Chu's bed shook a few times, and something fell from the bed frame. It was a large red velvet pouch. Judging by the sound, the contents seemed quite heavy. Bella Wang curiously opened the pouch, her pupils suddenly contracting. Inside the velvet pouch was a single gold bracelet, quite thick, half plain, half engraved with a lotus-like pattern. I recognized this bracelet. It was the one the man had given her, valued at 15,980 yuan. Of course, Bella Wang and Nara Zhang also recognized it. Nara Zhang stared at the bracelet in shock. Kira Chu stole Jiangzu's things? Bella Wang said nothing, her eyes dark and unreadable. She carefully put the bracelet away, then climbed up and ransacked Kira Chu's bed. I had meticulously searched the entire dorm and hadn't found any gold bracelets. Yet Kira Chu had hidden the bracelet elsewhere, and only after the scandal died down for a few days did she secretly bring it back to the dorm. So, the one who used my photos for online dating was indeed her. Nara Zhang was very excited. Let's go tell the advisor. This bracelet is worth over 10,000 yuan. Stealing something so expensive will surely get her expelled. Bella Wang searched the bed for a while longer but found nothing else. She climbed down, calmly put the bracelet into her own drawer and locked it. What Kira Chu stole might not just be this bracelet. Nara Zhang suddenly realized. Right. I remember the chat history mentioned gold necklaces, earrings, rings, hairpins, so many things. Bella Wang let out a grim, cold laugh, her delicate face looking particularly sinister now. Let's not alert the snake yet. We'll wait until we find a few more pieces of evidence, then we'll go straight to the police. If the amount is large enough, Kira Chu will be sentenced. Nara Zhang clapped excitedly. Good, let's send that bitch to prison. After Nara Zhang went to shower, Bella Wang immediately took out the bracelet, photographed it, then quickly put it back in her locked drawer. She climbed onto her bed, pulled up her blanket, wrapped herself tightly, and then began sending messages. Ethan Shen, does this bracelet look familiar? It fell from Kira Chu's bed today. I think she secretly used Jiangzu's photos to online date. After sending the message, Bella Wang couldn't stand it anymore and threw off her blanket. The weather lately was truly unpredictable, hot one moment, cold the next. I floated in front of her, staring. Bella Wang and I had the best relationship. She understood me more than the others. That's why, from the very beginning, she had guessed I was falsely accused. But instead of explaining for me, she rushed to throw more dirt on me. A human heart is more terrifying than any ghost. Ethan Shen replied to the message more than 10 minutes later. Just two simple words, come down. Bella Wang breathed a sigh of relief, immediately jumped off the bed, and started rummaging through her closet for clothes and makeup. Nara Zhang had just come out of the bathroom and was a little startled to see her like this. This late, going out on a date? You little thing, are you hiding a boyfriend from us? Bella Wang applied foundation while casually replying. Oh, it's just a casual meeting. An upperclassman from the club, he might be pursuing me, invited me for a late-night snack. Nara Zhang suddenly lost interest. Him? I remember he looked pretty ordinary, and I heard his family isn't rich. Bella Wang was attaching false eyelashes in front of the mirror, letting out an uncontrolled sigh. It's not like there are many rich and handsome guys around, and someone like Ethan Shen, we're not even good enough to reach him. Hearing Ethan Shen's name, Nara Zhang slumped onto a chair in frustration. He only ever said one sentence to me. Just a classmate, nothing more. In truth, I hadn't said more than a few sentences to Ethan Shen myself. After the incident, he had indeed actively messaged me to comfort me. Those messages were mixed with a series of sarcastic remarks not worth mentioning. I didn't even trust him, believing he was just like everyone else pretending to comfort me, but secretly enjoying the spectacle. By the time Bella Wang finished her makeup, half an hour had passed. She hurriedly put on a dress and ran downstairs, almost bumping into Nara Zhang on her way out. Nara Zhang pouted. "What's the rush? Girls should know how to play hard to get. What's wrong with making a man wait a little?" Bella Wang mumbled a few perfunctory replies, then grabbed her bag and hurried out. "Ethan Shen, I'm so sorry I made you wait. When you messaged me, I was just showering, that's why I'm late." Although Bella Wang's family wasn't well off, she was very proud, always speaking to boys with her head held high and her back straight. Since the beginning of the semester, several boys had expressed affection for her, but she had always remained indifferent. I never expected her to act so demurely in front of Ethan Shen. Perhaps he had waited too long. Ethan Shen leaned lazily against the wall. His handsome face was half hidden, half revealed in the dim night like a meticulously sculpted statue. When he saw Bella Wang, he straightened up, his dark eyes looking at her. "You're here." Bella Wang's face suddenly flushed red. Ethan Shen led her to a cafe near the school gate, requesting a private room. Bella Wang stammered as she explained the situation to him, eventually her eyes turning red. Finally, tears streamed down her face as she sobbed and wiped her eyes. Jiangzu was truly wronged. The more I think of her, the more my heart aches. She must have felt so much indignity. Ethan Shen frowned, tapping his fingers rhythmically on the table. "This matter should be kept secret for now. Don't let anyone else know, especially Kira Chu. We shouldn't stir up trouble unnecessarily." Bella Wang nodded obediently, looking at Ethan Shen with tear-filled eyes. "Don't worry, I'll definitely do it. I'll try my best to help Jiangzu clear her name." Ethan Shen's brows softened. He patted her hand, full of gratitude. "Let's work together." After Bella Wang reluctantly left the private room, Ethan Shen's expression immediately darkened. He took out a tissue and meticulously wiped each finger with disgust, then immediately opened a saved video on his phone. In the video, Bella Wang, without a mask or cap, was being interviewed by reporters. She, usually didn't like talking to other girls. She said girls were all too petty, and it was exhausting to get along with them. All her close friends were boys. Ethan Shen closed the video and opened another picture. It was taken in a classroom, a girl resting her chin on her hand, looking out the window. Bathed in sunlight, her black hair, red lips, and fair skin were translucent. That girl was me. Ethan Shen stared blankly at the picture, and after a long moment, gently touched the face in the photo with his finger. "Jiangzu, I don't believe you committed suicide. Don't worry, I will definitely find your killer and clear your name." It was only then that I belatedly realized. Ethan Shen? He seemed to like me. A bitter feeling suddenly swelled in my heart, an indescribable pain spreading through my chest. The first time Ethan Shen and I met was at the beginning of the semester. In a panic, I accidentally ran into the men's restroom and bumped right into Ethan Shen as he was coming out. He didn't blush, he just took my hand and spun me around. I looked up and saw the sign for the women's restroom, mortified beyond belief. Afterwards, I learned his name was Ethan Shen, and he was in the same class as me. Every time we met, I was somehow caught in an inexplicable, embarrassing, or unlucky situation. I was on the sidelines watching him play a match, and a stray ball hit me, making my nose bleed. Another day, I rushed to class, forgetting to wear underwear. The moment I stepped out of the dorm, I ran into Ethan Shen. He took off his jacket to cover me, then bowed his head and left without a word. Embarrassed so many times in front of such a handsome person, I wished I could find a crack in the ground and disappear. Overwhelmed by shame, I started deliberately avoiding him. That fluttering, nervous feeling never disappeared with time, but now it was all too late. I was dead. From now on, the living and the dead were separated, our paths diverged. What once stirred my heart gently now was just like the wind and clouds passing by. The buried hatred in my heart surged once more. I flew back to the dorm, finding the atmosphere there very strange. Nara Zhang was curled up on her bed, silent, holding her iPad, but her eyes were fixed on Kira Chu. Bella Wang hummed to herself while looking in the mirror, seemingly in a very good mood. Kira Chu was kneeling on her bed, rummaging for something, having completely stripped the bedsheets and pillowcases, only to put them back on. Hearing Bella Wang humming, she anxiously looked up. "Bella Wang, did you take my things?" Bella Wang gave a cold laugh, her eyes wide. "What things?" Kira Chu didn't say anything more. She sullenly continued to search her wardrobe, naturally finding nothing. Her suspicious eyes repeatedly scanned the other two, but in the end, she said nothing. The deep night was quiet, 3 people on their beds, each with their own secrets. The window curtains creaked as the wind blew, and the ceiling fan above began to rotate, emitting groaning sounds. Kira Chu's bed was closest to the balcony. She impatiently threw off her blanket, sat up, and got off the bed to close the window. But all the windows were already closed, even locked tightly. Kira Chu stood stunned, her face turning pale in an instant. I stood behind her, blowing gentle breaths onto her neck. My resentment grew stronger by the day, and my power became greater. Kira Chu shrieked, scrambling onto her bed, immediately turning on her desk lamp. Bella Wang turned over in annoyance. "Are you crazy? What are you shrieking about? Why don't you close the window? The wind's getting strong," Kira Chu stammered, her whole body trembling as if with Parkinson's disease. The window was already closed. Nara Zhang suddenly sat up from her bed, her voice sharp. "Are you talking nonsense? If the window was closed, then why?" Her voice suddenly stopped. Her eyesight was usually very good. Kira Chu had just turned on the desk lamp, and now the room was no longer pitch black. Of course, it was clear whether the window was closed or open. "Aha!" Nara Zhang shrieked in terror, quickly crawling off the bed, not even bothering to put on her shoes. She opened the door in a panic, shouting, "Ghost, there's a ghost." The dorm supervisor spat furiously, scolding the three girls until they couldn't lift their heads. "In the middle of the night, you woke everyone in the dorm. What are you screaming about? There are so many people in the dorm. Where would ghosts come from? Where's the ghost? Show me where the ghost is." Nara Zhang explained frantically. The curtains were moving, and the ceiling fan was creaking. The three were given a good lecture by the dorm supervisor, who threatened to deduct points if they made any more noise. When they returned to the dorm, they didn't dare to sleep. I resorted to my old trick, making the fans spin. Kira Chu, trembling, took out her mobile phone to record a video. I immediately stopped. The three of them were almost awake all night, trembling and huddled together. The next morning, dark circles smudged under each of their eyes, which even concealer couldn't hide. Nara Zhang bit her lip and mumbled, "Last night, could it have been Jiangzu?" "Shut up," Kira Chu snapped, her voice firm. "What does her suicide have to do with us? We didn't do anything to her. Even if she became a ghost, she can't do anything to us." Although Kira Chu's tone was high-pitched, it sounded weak, outward bravado masking inner fear. Today, only Nara Zhang had an elective class. Her heart unsettled, she packed her bag for class. Only Kira Chu and Bella Wang remained in the dorm. They hadn't slept all night, filled with fear and dread. They didn't realize that the longer they stayed in the dorm, the more restless and irritable they became. The darkness in their hearts spread like thirsty sponges. Bella Wang closed the door, even carefully locking it. Kira Chu wasn't surprised, her face sinking. "What are you doing?" Bella Wang smiled, giving her a meaningful look. "My finances are a bit tight lately. Can I borrow some spending money?" Kira Chu stared at her in disbelief. "Are you crazy? Even if I threw money into the water, I wouldn't lend it to you. Get out." Bella Wang wasn't angry. She blocked the door, looking as if she had anticipated this. "You're the one who used Jiangzu's photos to online date, aren't you? Many times, I saw you secretly taking pictures of Jiangzu. And you also secretly went downstairs to pick up express deliveries, then didn't dare to open them. The labels on the boxes were torn off. Those boxes were the gifts you scammed from that man, weren't they?" Kira Chu trembled all over, suddenly looking up and staring at her. "You're talking nonsense. I can sue you for defamation." Bella Wang gave a cold laugh disdainfully. "Who are you trying to scare? Go ahead and sue me if you have the guts. Do you dare? If this spreads online, just imagine the consequences. Jiangzu died because of this, and you'll be the next to suffer cyberbullying, and your fate will be 10 times more tragic than hers." The color drained from Kira Chu's face in an instant. What evidence do you have?" Bella Wang shook her phone in her hand, and the picture of the gold bracelet flashed across the screen. Finally, Kira Chu reluctantly transferred 2,000 yuan to Bella Wang. This was her entire living expense for half the semester. Bella Wang got the money and eagerly went shopping. Kira Chu sat on the chair, her eyebrows raised ominously, her face so dark it seemed she could wring water from it. I couldn't believe it. Our dorm was truly a den of hidden dragons and crouching tigers, not only thieves and scammers, but also extortionists. I could feel a surge of black energy welling up inside me. A voice roared in my chest, making me want to tear everything in front of me to shreds. It turned out Bella Wang had always known about these things. She knew everything, yet she coldly watched me suffer cyberbullying. She watched my family tormented because of me, living a life worse than death. Crash, the cup on the table suddenly shattered. Kira Chu panicked, hastily opening the door and running out of the dorm. She ran to the school convenience store. The warm sunlight and bustling crowd made her breathe a sigh of relief. She took out her phone and began sending messages. "Brother, didn't you always tell me to introduce you to a girlfriend? There's a girl in my dorm named Bella Wang. She's quite pretty." I stared at her phone. Carelessly, the sunlight reflected onto me. Unlike the burning sensation from before, I only felt a slight prickling. It felt like a needle poking me. My power had once again increased significantly. Bella Wang, with money in hand, bought several beautiful dresses, dressing up and doing her makeup exquisitely every day, using the pretense of helping me to get close to Ethan Shen. To make a good impression on Ethan Shen, she quickly spent all 2,000 yuan. Bella Wang scrolled through her phone, constantly adding items to her shopping cart. I blew on her neck, then unexpectedly lunged at her. I possessed Bella Wang. I was Bella Wang now. This time, I demanded 3,000 yuan from Kira Chu. Kira Chu was on the verge of losing her mind. "My family isn't rich. That 2,000 was all my living expenses for this semester." I admired my newly manicured nails, not even looking up. "Don't you still have a lot of gold? That gold is worth at least 100,000 yuan, isn't it? Sell it, and you'll have everything you need." Kira Chu was so furious she gnashed her teeth. "Fine, you just wait." The desire to destroy others first drives them mad. When the time comes, I only need to gently add fuel to the fire to push them into the abyss, and my hands won't even need to be stained with blood. If a ghost's hands are stained with human blood, they cannot reincarnate as a human in the next life, only as an animal. They are not worthy of defiling my path of reincarnation. Kira Chu was cornered, left with no choice but to sell her gold ring for money. Before selling the ring, I used Bella Wang's phone to send a message to Ethan Shen. Ethan Shen secretly followed Kira Chu, recording the entire process. After recording, he used his own money to buy back the ring. In just one short month, Kira Chu had sold almost all of her gold jewelry. The money she earned from chatting with that man almost entirely ended up in Bella Wang's pocket. When I possessed Bella Wang, I demanded money from her again. Kira Chu finally went mad. Crash. She violently threw the cup to the ground, sending shards of glass flying everywhere. "It's all gone. I sold everything. All the money went to you." I shrugged, feigning indifference. "If you don't have it, go get it. Aren't you good at swindling money from men? Just swindle one more and you'll have it." Kira Chu gasped for breath, her eyes like lightning in dark clouds, eerie, strange, and terrifying. After a long moment, she said in a hoarse voice, "Fine, 5,000 yuan, right? I'll give it to you tonight." I scooped a large dollop of cream onto the back of my hand. "Just enough for me to buy this blue dress. Clearly you have money. What's with the poor me act? You're not honest at all." That evening, Kira Chu arranged to meet Bella Wang near the east gate of the school. Near there, an office building was under construction. Bella Wang, suspecting nothing, hummed a song as she walked out. Her life lately had been very comfortable, partly thanks to the money she extorted from Kira Chu, and even more so from her own audacity. She spent money extravagantly, not even bothering to check her bank account, so she didn't realize that the amount Kira Chu gave her was significantly more than she had demanded. Seeing Bella Wang leave, Nara Zhang was filled with envy. "Bella, did you snag a rich one lately? Is that senior willing to spend money on you? I thought his family wasn't well off." Bella Wang glared. "I used to think he was poor too, but it turns out he was just being modest. He's actually a second-generation rich kid." Nara Zhang bit her lip, her eyes filled with a clear mix of admiration and envy. When Bella Wang left, she immediately took out her phone and sent a message. "Mr. Chen, Senior, do you still remember me? I'm Bella Wang's roommate. Is your club still recruiting? I want to join too." I looked down for a moment, then reluctantly left the dorm. After all, Bella Wang's side was the focal point of this drama. As Bella Wang walked, I used her phone to send a message to Ethan Shen. Kira Chu was already waiting for her at the gate. The path became increasingly winding and disorienting. Bella Wang pouted, complaining, "Why all this secrecy? I'm exhausted from walking." Kira Chu said coldly, "You don't want anyone else to see us either, do you?" The two walked into the office building. Bella Wang finally realized something was wrong. She put her hands behind her back and dialed Ethan Shen's number. "Kira Chu, what are you planning?" Two figures lunged out from the shadows, blocking the door. It was Ethan Chu and another thug from our village, Ben Chu. Bella Wang finally panicked. "What do you want?" Kira Chu swiftly snatched the phone, turned it off, and threw it far away. "You bitch, how dare you call to alert someone?" "When did you team up with Ethan Shen? Tell me now." In a forgotten corner, the mobile phone quietly leaned against the wall on a video call. Bella Wang tried to puff out her chest to encourage herself. Ethan Shen is pursuing me. Do you know what his family does? If you dare touch me, the Shen group won't let you off. Kira Chu froze for a moment, then burst into laughter, clutching her stomach. Bella Wang, you don't think I'm as blind and idiotic as Jiangsu, do you? On her birthday, Ethan Shen called you downstairs to the dorm and asked you to give her a present. You hid the present, then turned around and told Ethan Shen that Jiangsu had refused it. You think I don't know these things? Ethan Shen pursuing you? He's lucky he hasn't sent someone to kill you already. Bella Wang's face changed drastically. Her deepest secret exposed, she angrily pointed at Kira Chu and screamed, "You're no good either. At most, I just told a few white lies. But you used Jiangsu's photos for online dating and framed her. Ethan Shen liked Jiangsu so much, if he knew, he would never let you off." Kira Chu's eyes practically blazed with fire. She took a step back, waved at Ethan Chu. "Brother, come strip this girl. You dared to extort money from me. Once I take your naked photos, let's see what you'll use to threaten me. At worst, we'll both go down, no one gets out unscathed." Bella Wang screamed and tried to run, but Ethan Chu caught her. Ethan Chu violently pulled her arm, and within seconds her top was off. Kira Chu took out her phone to record, her expression both deranged and ecstatic. "You bitch, who told you to extort me? Let's see if you dare threaten me again." Bella Wang cried out, struggling desperately, but her strength was no match for two grown men. Very quickly, her clothes were stripped off, and she sat messily on the ground, whimpering. Ethan Chu's lustful eyes roamed over her body. Ben Chu licked his lips, looking at Ethan Chu expectantly. "Brother Ethan, this girl is really fair-skinned. Let's have a little fun. As long as we don't rape her, it's just a few months in jail. I've never tasted a university student before." The two approached Bella Wang with evil smiles. She sat up intending to run, but was caught again. Bella Wang cried until her nose ran. "Please, let me go. Kira Chu, I'll pay you, please." Kira Chu snorted coldly, still recording with her phone. Bella Wang struggled desperately, her strength growing weaker and weaker. It was at this moment that I possessed her, unexpectedly pushing Ethan Chu hard, making him stumble. Ethan Chu staggered backward, and as he was halfway down, I kicked him squarely. He twisted in midair, falling face-first onto the floor, two steel bars piercing directly into his eyes. "Ah!" Ethan Chu let out a horrific scream, clutching his eyes and writhing on the ground, fresh blood gushing through the gaps in his fingers, quickly soaking his clothes. Kira Chu glared fiercely, grabbed Bella Wang's hair and slapped her. Bella Wang put her hands behind her back, backing away. "Don't push me." "Don't push me." Bella Wang snatched a piece of glass and slashed Kira Chu's face. Kira Chu, unprepared, immediately had two streaks of blood run down her face. She fell to the ground in pain. Bella Wang seized the opportunity, climbed onto her, and wildly clawed at Kira Chu's face. "Who told you to strip me? When you saw Jiangsu being stripped, were you gloating? You love stripping others so much, why don't you strip yourself?" Kira Chu was quickly stripped bare by Bella Wang. Furious, her face flushed crimson, she snatched the glass shard from Bella Wang's hand. "You bitch, how dare you cut my face? I'll kill you." Bella Wang, small and thin, was pinned to the ground by her, unable to fight back. "Ugh, so useless." A steel bar rolled next to her hand. "Ah, it's all your fault for pushing me." The steel bar plunged into Kira Chu's left eye. She screamed in agony, clutching her eye and rolling on the ground. Bella Wang sat on the floor, her face covered in fresh blood. She couldn't even tell which blood was hers and which was Kira Chu's. I sniffed, the thick scent of blood, like a sweet candy, incredibly fragrant. Ben Chu stared blankly at the three people in the pool of blood, his legs turning to jelly from fright. Just then, an alarm sounded outside. He flinched and ran. At that moment, they didn't realize. In the hidden corner, the phone was still quietly flashing a green light. Ethan Shen had not only recorded the scene but had also switched to live streaming. The recording created a huge wave among netizens. Countless people flooded the live stream, furiously cursing Bella Wang and Kira Chu. Even Nara Zhang, who wasn't present, couldn't escape. Damn, this is truly an eye-opener. Such wicked women exist in this world. Oh my god, Jiangsu was truly miserable. I deserve to die. I cursed Jiangsu back then. I really want to slap myself twice. Can't we just shoot these bitches? Why is Jiangsu dead while they're still alive? Jiangsu's mother seems to have lost her job because of this, and her brother was fired from his company. Just because of the jealousy of these dorm girls, a family was torn apart and ruined. No injustice can compare to Jiangsu's. Along with the police, a group of media reporters gathered around, seizing every opportunity to take photos and film. Kira Chu and Bella Wang screamed their lungs out, desperately trying to cover themselves. Because the fight was so massive, a huge crowd had gathered to watch the spectacle. An old man pushed his way to the police car. "Officers, I want to report a crime." Jiang Zhu didn't commit suicide. She was being harassed by some thugs, and she accidentally fell into the river while running away. These words were like throwing an ice cube into hot oil. Reporters practically shoved microphones down the old man's throat. "When did you see this, uncle? Why didn't you say anything from the start?" The old man grunted twice, bowing his head in shame. "I thought Jiang Zhu was a homewrecker. Who cares about a homewrecker's life or death? I only found out she was innocent from my daughter's phone." I stared blankly at the old man, my heart a mix of emotions. In the beginning, they were the ones who loudly condemned me, wanting me dead. Now, their hearts were filled with indignation, and they were the ones yelling for Kira Chu and the others to be killed. They didn't rely on evidence. A single piece of unverified news was enough for them to easily convict someone. They believed they were righteous, yet they were utterly foolish. Using the excuse of helping others, they led innocent people to their deaths, one after another. In the end, they could only cover up their crimes with a single phrase: "I was also deceived," thus concealing their guilt and transforming themselves from perpetrators to victims. How ironic. As the real-life commotion died down, the online world erupted. In their rage, netizens once again attacked Kira Chu and the others. Kira Chu's biological father was quickly fired from his company, and Bella Wang's family vegetable stall was vandalized. Nara Zhang had the best family background. Her father was a teacher. Very quickly, her father was accused of accepting bribes from students' parents and lost his job just like that. The thugs who had chased me that day were also caught at the fastest speed and quickly sentenced. Kira Chu, Bella Wang, and Ethan Chu were all hospitalized. Kira Chu was convicted of fraud, intentional injury, defamation, and several other crimes. Bella Wang was convicted of blackmail, intentional injury, excessive self-defense, and defamation. When the two were discharged from the hospital, they would receive sentences of nearly 10 years in prison. Both not only lost their futures, but were also disfigured. Kira Chu even lost one eye. Ethan Chu received a slightly lighter sentence of 2 years, but with a steel bar through his eye, he would spend the rest of his life in darkness. Feeling guilty, netizens brought bouquets of flowers to my grave. The once desolate grave was now crowded with people every day. Humans are the most forgetful creatures. Once the fervor of this incident died down, my grave would become desolate and cold again. The netizens' guilt came quickly and left just as quickly. Before long, they would forget me. But I would never have the chance to love, work, or live like them. After all, I was already dead. I sat on my grave, swinging my legs back and forth. Today, rain poured and the cemetery was utterly silent, save for the patter of raindrops on the leaves. My mother and brother have been much better lately, their faces no longer shadowed with grief. They will gradually overcome the pain of losing me and live normal lives. My mother reopened her breakfast stall, and business was booming. My brother helped out at the store every day. They were both busy to the point of exhaustion. Being busy like this was good. Being busy meant they wouldn't have to think of me anymore. I stared blankly at the bouquet in front of my tombstone, a dull ache in my heart. Being a ghost, it turned out, was this boring. At the foot of the mountain, a black umbrella approached from afar. Even in the heavy rain, someone was coming to visit me. As he drew closer, I realized it was Ethan Shen. He seemed to have lost a few pounds, his cheeks sunken, looking gaunt. Most visitors to my grave brought white or yellow chrysanthemums, but he held a large bouquet of vibrant red roses. They blazed like a burning fire, making my ghostly cheeks flush. "Jiang Zhu, I am a staunch atheist, but because of you, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that spirits truly exist in this world." A bitter feeling suddenly swelled in my heart, an indescribable pain spreading through my chest. Ethan Shen like this? It's a pity our fate could only go so far. I stood on tiptoe and gently pressed my lips against his cheek. The current me not only had the power to appear in dreams, but could even manifest before others. But to ensure Ethan Shen didn't see me, he should forget me, then find a better girl. To fall in love, marry, have children, and live a complete, happy life. The wind grew stronger. Ethan Shen hugged the flowers in front of the grave, his upper body drenched with rain. Seeing his sorrow, I spread my arms to shield him. Sure enough, the wind softened slightly. I was about to breathe a sigh of relief when Ethan Shen suddenly lit a black rhinoceros horn in his hand. Zoo, I heard that if you burn a rhinoceros horn, you can see. The latter half of his sentence caught in his throat. Ethan Shen's pupils suddenly constricted, then immediately brightened, looking ecstatic. Jiang Zhu, I awkwardly withdrew my hand and looking up ran, "No, you've mistaken me for another ghost." The main story concludes. Epilogue 1. This was my first time visiting a women's prison. It was very clean inside. Female inmates were enjoying the breeze in the yard. A large woman sat on a chair, smoking, surrounded by several obedient subordinates. All the scenes in the movies were true. She was indeed the big sister of the female inmates. The woman who initially ordered me stripped was now diligently kneeling, massaging her feet. I took a breath, possessed her body, then stood up, grabbed the big sister's hair, and slapped her twice. The big sister's cigarette flew out of her mouth, and she gaped, looking at me with a bewildered, innocent expression. When she finally adapted, she erupted in fury. I immediately left the woman's body, crossed my arms, and enjoyed the sight of her being brutally beat. Being a ghost was so boring. With nothing else to do, I could only frequent the prison for a stroll. Epilogue 2. Mr. Chen had been incredibly comfortable these past few days. The tigress in his house had been imprisoned, and there was no one left to constantly scold him. Because the tigress's two younger brothers were also in prison, her family hated her to the bone and actively severed ties with them. Every day, people online cursed that tigress, but no one cursed him. After all, he had only made a mistake that every man would inevitably make. Jiangzhu was so beautiful, what if he spent a little money? Besides, even if he spent money, he was deceived. In the end, he was still a victim. Society was always very lenient towards men. Mr. Chen finished work in the evening and enjoyed a delicious late-night meal. After drinking until his head spun, he suddenly saw an incredibly graceful figure. The woman wore a tight-fitting white cheongsam. Her slender waist and sensual figure, especially her swaying walk, made his heart itch. Mr. Chen wiped his drool, taking large steps to quickly follow her. I led him to a small, dark, deserted alley, then stood still. Mr. Chen rubbed his hands together. "Little beauty, are you alone?" "Where do you live? Let me take you home." I turned and smiled sweetly at him. "My home is in the underworld." "Ah, a ghost." In the end, I didn't kill Mr. Chen. I only made him lose his ability to be a man. Ethan Shen carefully instructed me every day not to let my hands be stained with human blood. Today, I went out to find Mr. Chen, still hiding it from him. It was already late when I returned, and I would surely be scolded. Just thinking about it, I had to quickly pick up the pace. Time to go home. He was waiting for me there.